What is up? We're back with another trailer breakdown. Marvel Investors Day had everything, so we're getting right into WandaVision. Now, Nick, what were your general impressions of this trailer before we get into specific moments and the feel it gave you?
It was basically the same weird vibe that like that the first trailer gave, that kind of like on drugs LSD like what's going on type thing. A few new moments that stood out that we'll be breaking down, but it was just more of the same. But that's not necessarily like a bad thing, since the whole thing about this show has been like what the hell is going on. So definitely a very enjoyable thing to like go through. And I think it'll be fun like when the show finishes, or at least its first season, to like go back and be like, oh, so that's where that came from, and that's why that made sense then.
Right. Let's get into the images now. We get our first image of Monica Rambeau in this trailer when she meets Wanda.
Right.
At least it's cut that way, right?
I think so.
Yeah, yeah.
At least the
She
introduction.
she
Yeah.
definitely does. I was double checking to make sure it wasn't some clever editing.
Yeah.
Um, do you think that Monica Rambeau is trying to get Wanda out of whatever situation this is, or do you think this is Wanda manipulating reality?
Here's the thing about that second point, like, or I don't know, maybe I'm like thinking too hard about like the logistics of like altering reality, but like I feel like the second one is just like there's that whole of like reasonably Wanda would recreate reality based on things she knows. And so it would seem real random if like Monica Rambeau just showed up, because at least to my knowledge they haven't met. What I think would be, because I correct me if I'm wrong, but in the first trailer there's a scene like someone like pops out of like a portal or something, and I think it might have been Monica. So I could see like maybe like just want like I could see like Wanda like pulling her out of the timeline or whatever, like pulling her out of her place. That's why this scene she's like, "Who are you?" And she's like, "I don't know." I could totally see like in reconstructing reality, Wanda accidentally like just grabs her from like a random spot in the time. Because I just think it'd be weird if like they just introduce Monica Rambeau like fully formed like an agent of like, well, Shield's not, or like the government or whatever, like in WandaVision. So I feel I wouldn't be surprised if like Wanda just accidentally grabbed her from some point in the timeline or the multiverse, and she like Monica's completely just like doesn't know what the hell's happening. She just pops in there. So I feel like that could be what happened with this character.
Right. I'm also curious if Wanda has like this town trapped
Mm-hmm.
in this reality that she's created,
Yeah.
and if Monica's sent in to try and help Wanda, or
Yeah.
maybe Wanda thinks what she's doing is real. And Monica, her purpose there is to cast doubt, and for Wanda to like start to figure out that everything is not as it seems.
Right.
Um, that's kind of my guess. I don't really know at all, to be perfectly honest. I guess we'll see in a few weeks when the trailer comes out. But let's move on to our next image. Now, this scene takes place, and it's like over the radio, and she looks distressed when hearing it. It's someone over the radio saying, "Who's doing Wanda? Who's doing this to you?"
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, well, we have no real concrete answer. It does seem like she's either trapped in her own reality, or someone has helped her create this reality that she's trapped in without knowing.
Right.
Um,
But you go.
yeah, my question is just like, do you have any theories or ideas on who this could possibly be, or why someone would want to mess with Wanda?
I think it's like a two-part thing. First, I think that lady played by Catherine Hand has shown up in both trailers now. She, I'm putting it out there. She's definitely like the big villain. Like I see no reason for a character like that to be shown. Again, it's what we said in our about Owen Wilson in our Loki breakdown. You can go watch that. Like how the character seems important and they seem like jolly enough, but like you just have that vibe. Something's not right about you. Like I would not like. She's probably the big bad. That's my guess. So I feel like she has a hand in it, but I don't think she like trapped Wanda. I still hold to the idea that if anything, Wanda created this reality, and like Catherine Hand's character is like feeding off of it, and so it becomes this like like I know like Randall Park's supposed to reprise his role as the FBI agent from Ant-Man and the Wasp. Like he's trying to pull Wanda out, and like she's trying to keep Wanda in, and like then Wanda's like fighting to keep hold of anything. And I think that's where like a lot of the conflicts just gonna be like that three sources of like come back to reality, stay here in the dream with me type thing, real Inception stuff.
Yeah, I'm into it. I agree with you. I think she's a villain of some sorts. It's too good to be true that she's just like your casual best friend that you created. I think that's too easy.
I also love the idea that like Wanda's like this isn't in Wanda's head. Like it must have taken some sort of like it must have manifested physically, because there's a shot in the trailer. I'm gonna try and find it, but like where you see like military trucks. I think like right around 105, like you see military trucks coming
Right.
in, and you see like the authorities coming in. Like I love the idea that this town is some sort of like ground zero like type thing, and they're like it's like a radiation zone, like what's the movie Annihilation, or just like an irradiated zone, and like they have to like fight to like maintain control of the area. I think that's really cool.
Right. I'd be curious if it's almost like this area is expanding.
Yeah,
in there.
that too.
That could be something. Who knows, man? Who knows?
Right.
But let's move on to, there's this moment with Wanda and Vision where like basically it's in color, it's not in black and white. It's like this is our home, and then it's like then let's fight for it, right? Do you think this is an image from like the last part of the series or the culmination? Like who are they fighting against? Do you think they're going to go against the people who are trying to get her out, or do you think it's going to be her best friend? I can't remember the name of the actress.
I picture this as like the second to last episode, like right the setup for the finale, like when Giancarlo Esposito shows up for the first time in The Mandalorian. It's just like this is it. This is the final battle. Like here we are. Like I wouldn't be surprised like if Wanda and Vision take on like Catherine Hahn's character, and they take on like Randall Park. Like it's a two-pronged thing. It's just like chaos across this small town. I feel like I don't know, just the idea of like let's fight for our home. Like I feel that's a rallying cry. That's a battle cry right there. That's not like a sort of like type. I think it's like more of a battle cry than anything else. I feel like also like I don't know. I guess we'll see what happens with the show. I just feel like that's going to be the setup to some sort of like crazy like fight for control of their reality or whatnot.
Right, and I'll be curious how this show, maybe there's a common villain from this show into Doctor Strange, into the Multiverse of Madness.
Right. Oh, wait, before you asked me to remind me your Loki video about like a post-credit scene or something.
Yes. Okay. We'll get around to that at the very end.
All right, cool.
But thank you for reminding me.
No worries.
108, there's another really cool image where it's the helicopter that's flying around, and there seem to be some trucks right on the outside of this zone that's covered in just like red and black, whatever it is.
Right.
It's almost like a shield. I wonder if it's a bubble for the whole zone.
Yeah.
From the outside looking in, you see it that way, but from Wanda's side, it's just regular. I'd be really curious what this is, or if this is Wanda doing something at her maximum power. It leaves so many questions as to what's going on.
For sure.
And the last thing I have to say before we talk about that point that we talked about earlier, the Mind Stone.
Yes.
Now in Vision, because Wanda, do you think she's creating the Mind Stone for Vision here?
See, this was like I recall like there was a time when before Endgame came out, there was a theory that they could rebuild Vision because like Shuri had like downloaded his schematics or whatever. And I feel like maybe I wouldn't be surprised. Like this whole like effort is to like reconstruct an Infinity Stone, so then she can just we can rebuild the robot body, and then we can stick it back into a new the recreated stone and bring back Vision. I don't know. It's interesting because I feel like is WandaVision like an event series, a limited thing? Have they said anything? Because if they get a season 2, I feel like that changes how I could perceive where this thing could go. If it's a limited series, though, I feel like that also again changes it.
I took it as a limited series.
Okay.
I think when they say it plays into Doctor Strange, I think that means I don't know. To me, that kind of makes me think it's a limited series.
Okay, because they could either like prolong Vision's resurrection or like not resurrect him at all. Or they could just be like, all right, now he's back, or whatever. Um, Definitely a very deliberate thing to show us the Infinity Stone, just because like that was the whole thing about the relationship in Infinity War.
Right. 100%. Now let's move on to my final note that I want to make.
Mhm.
Do you think there will be a post-credit scene at the end of WandaVision that will play directly into Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness? Because we know that Elizabeth Olsen is shooting right now for the Multiverse of Madness.
I would be more willing to bet on that it has a tease to Loki because like one Doctor Strange is filming and they don't come out till 2022. If everything had gone the way it should have gone before COVID, then probably. But I feel like because multiverse has been pushed and that like Loki is set, I wouldn't be surprised if they just swap plans because I feel like we said in our Loki video there's still a lot of multiverse teases happening. So I'd anticipate that more. I most certainly would anticipate a post-credit scene because that's Marvel's signature. Mandalorian does it anyway, so I feel like there's no reason for them to not do it.
Right, right. Who knows? Maybe they'll drop a sneak peek of how Spider-Man ties into WandaVision because they said they're showing some Spider-Man footage in the next few weeks. At least that's what they
True.
promised months ago.
This is true.
So I have a feeling there's going to be a post-credit scene. We've already seen that in another series. I'm not going
Right.
to spoil what it is, but so I'd be really curious if that has anything, or there'll be some big like cliffhanger, like whoa moment that we kind of get.
It's
I
their
kind of have a
yeah,
feeling.
it's their signature move. It'd be crazy of them to not do it.
Right. Well, I think that wraps up this review of the or breakdown of the WandaVision trailer. Let us know what you guys thought of the trailer, your theories on what could be happening. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the video, and we'll see you next time.